Hello everyone, welcome back to the Minecraft world building series, the series where I create a civilization in survival Minecraft. Today we're going to be working on the farm because they're all starving in there and they have nothing to do. And I'm going to be bringing in the lore of the block. The block is this like magical floating thing that somehow has like an energy to it. And I'm going to define what that energy really is in this video. Alright, so what's going to happen here is I'm going to build this thing and I'm going to explain how it's significant to the farm, and then build the farm. But this one, its energy is being harnessed by this amethyst crystal, and these glass panes kind of represent like that magical power. And it's going to be flowing through the ground here and making the crops grow super fast. That way it doesn't need to be super big, like the farm doesn't need to be super big to accommodate all of the people living in the civilization. Because if this was the real world, this would definitely not be enough. Like this is pathetic. There is not enough. However, if you have the power of the block increasing the growth rate of all of the crops, then you're going to have a good time because the block is actually making them grow faster and you don't need as much area. It's hyper efficient. It's extremely efficient. Alright, so here's how this works. You have this thing, I don't really know what to call it yet, but the structure is harnessing the power of the magical floating block. And then we have the amethyst, which is kind of like a conduit for the power. So this harnesses it, and then the amethyst allows it to transfer. It's kind of like a battery. You have electricity, but you have to move it somewhere. So, we are moving the electricity throughout the crop with this. So you're taking the magical power, it's so great, you put it through the water, and it's, affecting the surrounding crops, it's great. So that is how it works. Now, this is how the farm is going to be set up. We're going to have wheat over here, and then we're going to have like carrots or something, I don't know. And then we're going to have potatoes or something, I don't know. But then we're also just going to have a completely empty farm. Now, I can explain this. This is because in the real world, you want to give soil time to recover. So if you're always growing things, it's not going to work super well because then the soil gets exhausted or something. I don't know. It's outside of my pay grade. I may live in Idaho, but I'm not that kind of Idahoan. Now you may be asking, Yellow Fellow, if the magical power thing is so magical, how come the soil is getting exhausted? Well, because that's not how it works, and this means they don't have to do as much work, so it's great. This path means absolutely nothing anymore, though. I'm just gonna have to get rid of it. So yeah, let's get started on a time lapse. Look at my beautiful plantation. I'm back, we did it. Alright, now that we have all this food, I think the next step would be to create some sort of like cart system. Like we have this road here, kind of, but I think we would need to have some sort of, way to store everything. So I'm thinking about building some carts that, just kind of gradually go up. think that'd be cool. Yeah. All right, let's see here. I think I'll put it right over here, maybe? On kind of a hill. Yeah. Dadgum. Alright, there we go. That's like the wheel, and then it's like resting on the ground. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty good. In fact, it's so good it's gonna be the last thing I ever do in this video. Bye, I guess. I'm so sorry.